Hello and welcome to this tutorial on how to make boxer briefs. I'm Dennis from GDY Cologne and I will guide you through this whole process. You can find the sewing pattern for this tutorial as a PDF for home printing in my online store linked in the description box below. And this PDF contains all parts with notches and seam allowances in 5 different European sizes from S to XXL with some custom options. Let's take a closer look. I made 2 versions to show you the different options. One with a half seam pouch with the side seams hidden between the layers, standard folded hems, and a free visible elastic waistband. And the second one is made with hem bindings, a full seam in the front, and an enclosed waistband. Here we have the parts for the first variant. A smooth elastic band suitable for underwear, 2 times the front pouch, the crotch part, and the main body. And for the second variant we have a standard elastic waistband, two times rib binding for the leg hems, a waistband to wrap the elastic in. I chose a tubular one, but any other is fine too. The pouch part regular and mirrored, 2 times each. The crotch part, and finally the body part. Let's start with the first variant. First we need to close the pouch parts. Fold them in the middle, right sides facing each other, and close the lower part with the overlock machine. After closing the parts, we can trim the overlock threads and open both parts. Now we clip the pouch parts to the body following the curve like this. Starting with the outside part, right side on right side. Then put the inner part, right side on wrong side. The body part should be in between the pouch layers. Then we can sew it. Now we can fold the pouch pieces over like this. To attach the other side, we take just the outer pouch part and pin it to the open side of the body part. Right sides facing each other. And now comes the magic trick. We roll the body part as tight as we can towards the seam we just pinned together, leaving the inner pouch part out. After that, we wrap this roll with the inner pouch part and add the final pouch layer on top of the other two and pin it together. We need to be careful to leave enough space at the crotch section, so that we not accidentally sew parts of the roll between the pouch layers. When everything is laid up nicely, we can close the seam. No need to rush this part. Take your time to carefully pin everything as it needs to be. After closing the roll, we can now turn it inside out and take a closer look. You will notice that the pouch seams are beautifully hidden in between the three layers. Now comes the crotch part. We can now pin the crotch to the right sides facing, while the longer part comes to the back and the shorter to the front. The notches mark the middle of the seams and should meet each other. Then we can close both seams. Now the main body part is finished. For this variant, I chose to attach a smooth elastic. We close the band border to border with a wide zigzag stitch. For simple folded hems, I like to iron them before sewing, so that it becomes easier to handle. I chose 1.5 centimeters width. Now we can fix the hems with a narrow 2-needle 3-thread cover stitch. The open end should always be in the middle of both needles, ideally meeting the needle away from the hem. When the starting point comes back, we first trim the threads on both sides and then sew a couple of centimeters over the starts. Then we lift the presser foot to release the thread tension and pull the needle threads towards us with a slim screwdriver or some tweezers and cut them. Now we push the garment away from us and trim the looper thread. All threads should be on the wrong side now, and we can cut them off. So we can finish a looping cover seam nicely. Last but not least, we need to attach the elastic. We first mark the half of the band with a clip, then, by aligning the clip and the closing hem, the halves of the halves. In this manner, we can easily mark even quarters on every tubular section. We do the same with the waist part. There we can start with aligning the notches of the middle front and the middle back, and then mark the sides. I prepared the cover lock machine with 3 needles and 4 threads. We need the elastic band on top and the garment under it, right side facing up. Both parts overlap just the span of the 3 needles. So the right edge of the garment should be aligned with the rightmost needle, and the left edge of the band should be aligned with the leftmost needle. It's also okay to add 1 millimeter extra on the left side from preventing the needle to hit the garment without hitting the elastic. This needs some practice, but with time you'll also handle this easily. Now we can sew it together, stretching both parts carefully so that the marked quarters always meet each other. We also constantly need to check if the overlapping is still set up correctly. So again, take your time. We finish the seam exactly how we finished the cover seams on the hems. And congratulations, the first version is done. Let's see some other options in the second variant. For a full seam pouch, we lay both mirrored parts on top of each other, right sides facing. After that, we put both on each other again, so we have 4 layers now. Close the entire middle seam with the overlock machine. After trimming the threads, we open up the parts so that the middle seam is hidden in between the layers, just like this. This time we cannot wrap the pouch between the rolled body, because we do not have 2 different pouch parts. So we just need to attach the full pouch on the body in one step. We clip the parts following the curve, right sides facing. We can do this for both sides directly. Now we close both seams. This is how it looks like now. If you want to flatten the open overlock seams, you can optionally cover stitch them with a wide 2-needle 3-thread stitch. In the next step, we attach the crotch part like we did it before, long side to the back and the notches meeting in the middle. This time we need to fold the overlock seam outwards while sewing the front seam of the crotch. And again, all body parts are finished for now. Next up, we close both hem bindings, right sides facing. We close the elastic band just like before, border to border with a wide zigzag stitch. To attach the hem bindings to the garment, we first mark the quarters again. Then we do the same on the leg hems, using the back crotch seam as starting point. Now we pin the binding on the hem, meeting both seams, and all marked quarters. First we fold the binding front sides facing, hiding the overlock seam inside. Then we attach it to the hems, right sides facing. First we place the garment under the overlock presser foot. Then turn the hand wheel until the needle is down. Lower the presser foot and carefully stretch a bit while sewing. There we are, the leg hems are attached. Now for the waistband, we do these exact steps again, just wrapping the elastic in the binding. So first, we start with marking all quarters again. Then we place the elastic facing the wrong side of the waistband and close it, aligning all the marked quarters. For an easier handling, we can close the waistband first on the overlock machine, so we have no problems while attaching it to the garment. But if you are more experienced, you might want to skip this step and directly attach the waistband to the garment, like in the next step. Now the pre-closed waistband is ready. We mark the quarters, pin it to the garment and fix it with the overlock machine like we did it with the hem bindings. Now we are ready for the final cover stitches around the hems and the waistband. This step is optional, but it helps our garment be more comfortable and professional looking. I prepared the cover stitch machine with a narrow 2-needle 3-thread stitch. All we need to do now is fold the overlock seam to the left, so that it is under the needles, and sew it all around. Again, we finish the seams like we did it before. Cutting off the threads from the beginning, sewing over the starting point. Then we raise the presser foot to release the thread tension, cutting the needle threads, and pushing the garment away from us, and cut the looper thread. After cutting the remaining threads on the inside, we have a really nice finish. Now we can do the exact same thing with the leg hems again, and we're done. And now the second version is also ready. This was my first men's underwear tutorial. You can find the downloadable pattern in my online store, linked in the description box below. If you have any questions, write them in the comment section, and if this was somehow useful for you, I would appreciate a thumbs up. Subscribe, like, and hit the bell, and see you in the next video.